As usual, we're going to begin this practice by putting on our blindfolds, and we'll be doing this in the sitting up posture. We'll spend the first 15 minutes of this session gathering our mindfulness and developing our concentration using the practice we've already been working on through the last several guided meditations. Then we'll do the contemplation about the cognitive distortion of shoulding. This one focuses on ourselves. And then we'll end the session with another 15 minutes or so of returning to a place of peace and openness through coming back to this practice. And we begin, as usual, by balancing our skull between our shoulders, balancing our torso over our hips, ensuring that we're positioned in such a way that we're not putting excess pressure on our lower legs, ankles, and feet. And that we're balanced so that we're not straining the muscles of the lower back or behind the neck. Noticing if your eyes would prefer to be open or closed, and doing whichever takes the least effort. Feeling your jaw and checking if you're clenching your teeth, allow them to soften. Your mouth can hang open or your lips could be closed, but your teeth are hanging so that you're not grinding your teeth. Feeling your chest and your upper back, scanning for tension there, and mentally inviting these areas to soften. Bringing our awareness down to the diaphragm, which we notice as we inhale when our stomach expands. Exhaling, it collapses gently. At this point, we can take an extra deep breath just to loosen up the abdomen. Letting the chest fill up as well. And then a long exhale. One more time, deep breath in. Feeling the stomach expand, then feeling the chest expand. Then exhaling, and returning to a more natural breath, still feeling the belly moving. And finally, noticing any tension in the pelvic floor, near the perineum, sex organs, and anus, any clenching there, mentally inviting it to soften. Our body is balanced, assuming we're sitting up unsupported. We can feel gravity supporting us through the posture of our spine. And at the same time, we feel softer, heavier, like we're sinking just a little deeper into our seat. Our body pressing down, not in a straining way, not in a pressurized way, but feeling more grounded and connected to the seat, the floor, the earth. You feel more stable this way, feeling more connected and heavy, loose, and relaxed. As we notice our body feeling heavy, loose, and relaxed, we might notice the mind also feeling loose and relaxed, perhaps empty, spacious, and we let our attention rest on the sensation of the breath entering our body through the nose, mouth, or both, through the throat into the lungs, and the sensation of the muscle in our midsection moving our belly to make space for the air entering the lungs, and feeling the exhale, the release of all the air. So breath by breath, we enter a more feeling state instead of a thinking state, where most of our attention is feeling the sensation of the breath. Is it rough or smooth? Hot or cold? Long or short? Are these qualities different on the inhale from the exhale? We're not checking off a mental list, we're just noticing. Noticing what it feels like coming in, noticing what it feels like going out. And as thoughts arise in the mind, we just let them linger in the background of the mind, not giving them any care. Just let them flow in and out, while the vast majority of your awareness is feeling the breath entering and leaving the body. And I'll be silent now until we move to the next stage of the practice. Now we'll transition our attention to an investigative process to start with. And look within yourself to identify one item that you judge about yourself that you think should be different or better or more of, or even less of. Something physical about your body. It could be about your external appearance or your internal feeling of being in your body. It could be about a physical ability, your ability to use or move or perform with your body. It could be something about your personality, how you respond to certain situations, how you present yourself to other people. It could be about your intelligence, your intuition. It could be about how well you've done in life, what kind of home you live in, what kind of job you have, what kind of legacy you've left behind. What type of changes you think that you should be putting into the world, how you should be affecting others. Any expectations you have about how you are supposed to be, or how you could be better, more, less. What is this the way that you remind yourself several times throughout the day, or once in a while, that you are not good enough just as you are? What is the phrase you use to believe you're not good enough, that you should be different? As you contemplate this phrase that encapsulates this feeling, the way you should be, how does it make you feel if you repeat it to yourself right now? Notice the sensations inside your body and the sensations inside your mind, your whole state of being. Notice any increasing level of tension, increasing level of negative heaviness like a depression, a loss of energy, a loss of life force. Repeat the phrase to yourself again and see how it takes you out of a state of flow and out of a state of balance. Not as ideas, but how does it feel? How does it make you feel on a very subtle level? Consider this quality you think should be different, that you habitually think it should be different. When you consider all the causes and conditions that affect you, your life, your body, everything that has shaped who you are as a person, could it be any other way? Does that make sense? Or when you look carefully and profoundly at all the causes and conditions, can you accept that yes, this is how you are, and this is in perfect result, a perfect result of reality, of the flow of circumstances and intentions? We are the outcomes of our genetic predispositions, of education, of social upbringing through our parents or caregivers, our siblings, our friends, religious institutions, workplace, and also all the intentions and all the effort we put into our life to shape ourselves a certain way. But that has its limits as well. So we ask ourselves, is it fair to ourselves to judge ourselves on this particular matter? Is it even logical? How could we wish this quality to be different, more, less, or better? Is that fair? Again, reflect on the toll this shoulding takes on you. The energetic toll, the emotional toll. And there are two directions you can choose to go from this point. One is to consider, is there a real possibility of change? Are there real, solid steps you can take to change whatever this particular thing is? What is the first realistic step you can take? And it might even involve just doing research, getting ideas, getting advice, perhaps from a therapist or a friend. Is there a concrete step that you could actually realistically and compassionately do to change the circumstance? So that you go beyond just saying how things should be to taking action, and one day no longer needing to repeat this negative mantra of what should be different, how you should be better, more, less, or different. And are you willing and interested in taking that action? The other direction you can go from this point is letting it go. that there is no action you can take, there is no action you're interested in taking. You really are unwilling or unable, or it is impossible to do anything to change this about yourself. And you realize that all the repetition of how things should be different, all it does is drag you down. It sucks your energy away. It causes tension, depression, anger, sadness, and it generally makes you feel less than a valid member of reality. That somehow you don't belong. This belief, this pattern, is only a thought. It is a repeated thought, a thought you ruminate on from time to time. It's like a bad recording that's on constant replay. And so, can you finally let it go? Make an agreement with yourself to accept this aspect of yourself, that you are deciding to be happy regardless of this one quality among millions of other qualities you possess. To let it go. And it's not that you're letting this thing about you disappear, that would be impossible, but it's the thought process, the opinion, the judgment, the repetition, letting that go. And you can create a statement similar to, I am letting you go, toward this belief, this pattern. And now we'll exhale 3 times, slow, long exhales. And to yourself you can say, I am letting you go, and let your body relax completely and fully, invoking a sense of relief with every exhale. So we'll do this 3 times. Breathing in, I'm letting you go. Deep breath in. I'm letting you go. Breathing in. I'm letting you go. And now notice your body, especially around the heart center, yet including your whole being as you come into a greater acceptance of all that you are. How does that feel? You may even be inclined to express gratitude toward your being, your body or mind. or even express an apology or a regret that you have tortured yourself so long needlessly, just out of habit because you didn't know better, or for whatever reason that works for you. If you want to express a silent gratitude to yourself or a silent apology, you can do that now for the next couple of minutes. And now we'll transition away from this exercise to returning to a state of peace and flow, returning our attention to the sensation of the breath entering and leaving the body. And to accentuate the enjoyable quality of this practice, remember that you have the option of turning up the corners of your lips and utilizing the smile, increasing the sense of enjoyment and wholesome pleasure, feeling that nice sensation in your face, moving down the throat, into the chest, and throughout the rest of your body. And I'll be silent again until the end of the session. And this concludes the meditation.